The sky over New York City was clear that evening. People were walking, laughing, living their normal lives. But tonight was not normal. Something big was happening at the university. For the first time in human history, an alien was coming to Earth as part of a student exchange program. Her name was Lyra, and she came from the planet Ilarion, a world far away, known for peace, knowledge, and control. The Ilari people looked human, but their skin had a soft glow, and their eyes were silver like the moon. They were calm, serious, and never showed strong emotions. The Earth government and the Ilari Council agreed to a one-year cultural exchange. Lyra would study at a human university, and one human would later visit Ilarion. Everyone was excited. News channels, social media, even science magazines were talking about it. But for Jack, a regular university student, it was just another day, until he got a call. "Jack Harper?" the voice on the phone said. "Yeah, speaking. You've been selected to be the Earth guide for the Ilari exchange student." Jack blinked. "Wait, me?" Jack wasn't special. Just a smart, easygoing guy who liked sci-fi movies, burgers, and video games. But now he had to help an alien girl learn about Earth. He didn't know what to expect. The next morning, he met Lyra at the landing center. She stepped out of a silver floating ship. She looked perfect, tall, graceful, glowing slightly, with a calm face and silver eyes that didn't blink much. "Hello," she said in a soft voice. "I am Lyra. I am honored to be here." Jack smiled. Awkwardly. "Welcome to Earth, I guess." They walked to campus together. Jack tried to explain things: coffee shops, dogs, traffic, students running late. Lyra asked a lot of questions. "What is fun?" She asked once. Jack laughed. "Fun is when you enjoy something. Like music, food, games, dancing." "Dancing?" She tilted her head. "Our people do not dance. That is chaos." Jack just grinned. "You'll love it here." Over the next few days, Lyra tried to act like a human. She attended classes, read Earth books, watched cartoons, and even tried pizza. She didn't like it. But Jack noticed something. Lyra was curious, but also holding back. Like something inside her was locked up. Then came Friday night. Jack's friend was throwing a small house party. Music, lights, snacks, and of course, drinks. Jack didn't plan to take Lyra, but she insisted. "I want to understand human." "Fun. All right," Jack said. "But no pressure, okay?" At the party, Lyra watched quietly. People were laughing, dancing, shouting, hugging. It was loud and messy, so different from her world. "What is this drink?" she asked, pointing to the red cup in Jack's hand. "It's alcohol. It helps people relax, maybe too much." "Alcohol is a chemical?" "Yep, you drink it. You feel more free." Lyra looked at the cup for a long time. "In Ilarion, we are not allowed to lose control." Jack raised an eyebrow. "Well, maybe you don't have to drink it." She took the cup. "I want to feel something different." Jack didn't stop. He thought one sip wouldn't do much, but it did. Lyra took a small drink. Her face stayed calm at first. Then suddenly, her pupils widened. She dropped the cup. Her hand started shaking. A faint blue glow appeared on her skin. Her breathing got faster. "Lyra? You okay?" Jack asked. She looked around, confused. So many sounds, colors, emotions. She held her head. I feel everything." Her voice was louder now. Her body shimmered with strange energy. People at the party turned to look. "Hey, is she glowing?" someone asked. Jack grabbed her arm. "Let's go outside now." Outside in the cold air, Lyra stood under a streetlight, breathing hard. "What's happening to me?" she asked. "I can feel every heartbeat. Every sound, even your thoughts." Jack froze. "My thoughts?" She stared at him. "You think I'm beautiful." Jack's face turned red. "Okay, that's weird." Lyra looked down at her hands. The ground near her feet cracked slightly. Her skin flickered between blue and silver. I was taught to control my body, my mind, my feelings. But this drink, it broke something. Then, in a sudden movement, she clenched her fist and crushed a metal can nearby without touching it. Jack's eyes widened. That's not normal. She looked at him, frightened. I don't think I am safe anymore. The street was empty. A cold wind passed by, brushing Lyra's silver hair across her glowing face. She stood still under the streetlight, eyes wide, lips slightly apart, like a machine trying to process too many signals at once. Jack stood 3 steps behind her. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He was scared, not of her. Not yet. Of what she might become. Lyra slowly turned around. Her silver eyes now had blue lightning dancing inside them. She tilted her head like a wild animal hearing a strange sound. I can hear everything, she whispered. Your heart, your fear, the electricity in the wires, even the worms moving in the soil. Jack's throat went dry. You're just reacting to the alcohol. Maybe it's temporary. Lyra laughed, but it wasn't a normal laugh. It was too sharp, too fast, as if she didn't fully understand the emotion behind it. I've never laughed before, she said. It feels strange. It tickles inside my chest. She walked toward a trash bin and gently placed her hand on it. The metal crumpled like paper. I don't know how I'm doing this, she said. I'm not supposed to have this strength. Jack slowly reached for her shoulder. Okay, we need to calm you down. Maybe there's something in your body that's reacting badly. Lyra looked at his hand. You're warm. So much warmth. Humans are alive. We are not like this. Jack raised an eyebrow. You mean your people? Yes, on Ilarion, everything is quiet, peaceful, cold. We are taught to silence our emotions. Control is our way of life. But now, she looked up at the night sky. I feel fire in my veins. Suddenly, a loud horn honked from a nearby car. Lyra flinched. She turned her head sharply toward the sound. Her eyes glowed brighter without warning. A burst of invisible energy shot from her body, and the car alarm exploded, windows cracking, metal shaking. Jack jumped. Whoa! Okay, that's new. Lyra fell to her knees, grabbing her head. It's too much. Too loud. Too alive. Jack rushed to her. We need help. Maybe someone from your embassy? She looked up, terrified. No, they'll erase my mind. It's the law. If an Ilari loses control, they remove the memory. Jack was silent for a moment. You mean they'll wipe your brain? Just because you felt too much? Yes, her voice broke. And I don't want to forget this. Just then, her bracelet, a small silver band with glowing lines, flashed red. A quiet beep echoed. Lyra's eyes widened. They know, she whispered. The signal has gone out. They're coming. Who? Jack asked. Ilari Control. Agents. They will sedate me. Lock me away. I will become empty. Jack stood up, thinking fast. All right. No way I'm letting that happen. But we have to move, now. Lyra looked up at him with a strange emotion on her face. Not fear, not confusion. Trust. She nodded. Okay, they ran. Into the dark city, away from safety. Toward the unknown. Hours passed. Now they were in an empty subway tunnel, hiding behind a broken gate. Lyra's glow was weaker now, but her breathing was still sharp. Her body trembled. I'm losing balance, she said. The alcohol unlocked something, old instincts, long buried. Jack leaned against the wall, trying to stay calm. You said your powers were hidden? Lyra nodded slowly. Thousands of years ago, Ilari were powerful. We could fly, move things with thought, sense feelings. But too much power led to war. So our leaders created a control system, mental. Locks in every newborn. Now we live in peace. Jack thought for a moment. Until one sip of alcohol broke your lock. Lyra looked away. Yes, and now I don't know who I am. Suddenly, they both heard it. A high-pitched humming sound, not human. Not from Earth. Something was coming. Jack whispered, "Is that them?" Lyra closed her eyes. "Yes, they found me." Jack stood up. "Then we run again." She looked at him. "You would risk everything for me?" He gave a half smile. "What's the point of being human if we don't help those who feel lost?" From the shadows above, a sleek black drone with alien markings hovered silently. It scanned the area. Lyra grabbed Jack's hand. "Hold tight," she said. "I don't know how, but I'm going to try something." "What are you going to do?" She looked straight ahead, voice firm. "Something I've never done before." The subway tunnel was dead silent. No footsteps, no voices. Just the quiet drip of water echoing from somewhere deep underground. Jack held his breath. Lyra stood still beside him, her glowing skin now pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. Above them, the black alien drone hovered. It scanned the air with thin blue beams, searching, calculating. Lyra closed her eyes. "I can feel its mind, cold, empty. It's not alive. It's a machine from Ilarian's enforcement unit." Jack whispered, "Can it see us?" Lyra nodded slowly. "Not yet. My body, it's hiding my signal, but not for long." The glow on her bracelet flashed again, this time yellow. "They've activated Protocol 9, she said." Her voice was calm, but her hands shook. "What's Protocol 9? She turned to him. "Emergency retrieval of an unstable subject." "That means me," Jack frowned. "Wait, they see you as dangerous?" "I am," she whispered. "But not because I want to be." Just then, a soft clicking sound echoed from the tunnel wall. A hidden panel slid open. Behind it stood a man, bald, sharp-eyed, wearing a black uniform with silver symbols. He wasn't human. "Ilari agent," Lyra said under her breath. The man raised a silver device. "Subject Lyra, return immediately. Your mind state is compromised. You are in violation of emotional containment laws." Jack stepped in front of her. "She's not going anywhere." The agent didn't blink. "You are irrelevant." He pressed a button. A wave of freezing energy shot forward. Lyra moved without thinking. She grabbed Jack, pulled him behind her, and held out her hand. Her body flashed bright blue, and the wave broke apart, as if smashing into invisible glass. Jack looked stunned. "You blocked it?" "I didn't know I could," she said, "but something inside me woke up." The agent looked shocked. "Unauthorized ability use detected. Her seal is broken. Full protocol override required." He reached into his coat, but Lyra moved faster, with a sharp scream. She sent a blast of raw energy at the wall behind the agent. Concrete shattered. Dust flew. By the time the smoke cleared, the agent was gone. They ran again, through tunnels, up old staircases, across rooftops. The city lights burned around them like stars. Hours later, they hid inside an old bookstore. The city was quiet. Too quiet. Jack lit a small lamp. Lyra sat beside a dusty shelf, breathing slow, face pale. He passed her a bottle of water. "You okay?" "I don't know," she said. "Something is changing inside me. I can't stop it." Jack sat across from her. "What's happening to you exactly?" She looked at him, her silver eyes now softer. "Tired. My people don't want us to feel strong emotions. Long ago, they locked our true powers inside our minds. Each Ilari child is given a memory barrier. Pain, anger, love, all kept behind. Mental walls. And now those walls are falling?" "Yes, and with them, my identity. I don't know who I really am anymore. The Khan Lyra is fading. Something louder is waking up." Jack opened an old Earth laptop and typed something. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Searching your name." just to see what they're telling people. After a moment, he found an official article from the Ilari Earth Liaison Office. The headline read, Ilari student Lyra missing, considered mentally unstable. Do not approach, Jack cursed under his breath. They've already turned the world against you. Lyra stared at the screen. A slow tear ran down her cheek. This is what they do, she said. We are not allowed to break the pattern. No chaos, no truth, only control. Jack looked at her, determined. Then we find the truth. He pulled out a flash drive. This has a copy of a leaked Ilari archive. Found it months ago while researching alien politics. Never thought I'd actually use it. He plugged it into the laptop and began searching. Minutes passed. Then something appeared on screen. Neural Lockdown Directive. Class, Ilari Citizens. Subject, Emotional Suppression Technology. Year, 4234. Lyra leaned in. That's it. That's what they did to us. The file showed diagrams, blueprints, even brain scans. All proving that Ilari leaders installed mental blocks to erase emotions and prevent rebellion. They were afraid of us, Lyra said. Afraid of what we could become if we felt fully. So they made us numb. Jack looked at her. But now you're not numb. You're awake. Lyra stood up slowly. No, she said. Not yet. She turned to the door. But I'm going to be. Asterisk rain fell gently on the rooftops of the sleeping city. Drops tapped on broken windows, ran down metal railings, and soaked the black coat on Lyra's back as she stood at the edge of the rooftop, staring down at the glowing streets below. She didn't blink. She didn't shiver, but something inside her was breaking, and she could feel it. Jack sat behind her, holding the old laptop, scrolling through more alien documents. Lyra, he said softly, I found something else. There was a failed rebellion 200 years ago. Ilari who rejected the mental locks. They were hunted, erased. Lyra's voice was distant. That's why they're afraid of me. They think I'm one of them now. Jack stood up, stepped beside her. Maybe. Fear is the first step to change. She turned her head slightly. Or to war. Suddenly, a sharp click echoed nearby. Jack froze. A blue laser dot danced across the rooftop and landed on Lyra's chest. She looked down slowly. Then without a word, she jumped off the rooftop, dragging Jack with her. They fell 5 stories. Just before hitting the ground, Lyra twisted midair, screamed, and sent out a burst of energy. The concrete cracked beneath them, but they landed safe, barely. Jack groaned. Okay, that was new. Lyra didn't answer. She was already looking back up, and saw 3 black-suited Ilari agents leap across rooftops with perfect balance. Chasing them like shadows, the chase had begun. The streets blurred as Lyra and Jack ran through alleyways, neon lights flashing across their faces. Sirens howled in the distance, but not for them. The world didn't know this fight was happening, only they did. Behind them, the agents moved like machines, no noise, no emotion, only speed. Each wore a silver mask with glowing red lines. One aimed a pulse cannon. Click. Buzz. A wall exploded beside Jack's head. Move! Lyra shouted. They crashed through a side door into an old parking garage. Inside, it was quiet. For a second, then metal doors slammed shut behind them, from the shadows. The lead agent stepped forward. His voice echoed, metallic and cold. Lyra of House Velian, your seal is broken. Return now, and you will be reconditioned. Resist, and you will be neutralized. Jack stepped in front of her. She's not going with you. The agent didn't even look at him. She has lost emotional stability. She is dangerous. Lyra raised her hands slowly. Her fingers glowed with soft blue light. I'm not dangerous because I lost control, she said. I'm dangerous because I found the truth. Without warning, the agent fired. Lyra reacted instantly, lifting both hands. catching the energy blast midair like water in a bowl. The blast shook the garage, lights flickering. She screamed, not in pain, but in power, and hurled the energy back. The agent flew backward into a concrete pillar. The other two agents rushed forward. Lyra's body glowed brighter than ever. Her feet lifted slightly off the ground. She moved with speed Jack couldn't follow. A punch. A blast. A kick that shattered the air. One agent crashed through a car. Windshield. Another was thrown into the ceiling and didn't get up. Silence fell. Jack stared at her, eyes wide. You just took down 3 super soldiers. Lyra landed gently. Her glow faded a little. Her hands trembled again. I didn't mean to. I just reacted. Jack walked closer. You protected us. That's not weakness. Lyra looked at her hands. It felt good. Too good. From her bracelet, another signal flashed. A voice spoke in Ilari language, cold, robotic, final. Lyra's face darkened. They're escalating. Now they'll send a hunter. Jack tilted his head. What's a hunter? Lyra turned slowly to him, not a soldier, not a machine, a weapon. Once released, it doesn't stop. Jack stepped forward. Then we get out of here. Lyra looked at him with deep, tired eyes. There's no going back, Jack. I broke the chain. I opened the door. Jack nodded. Then let's burn the whole system down. Outside, the rain stopped. And far above the clouds, something huge moved in orbit. A black Ilari vessel, silent and unseen, opened its cargo doors, and the hunter woke up. Far above the earth, hidden behind the black clouds of night, a door opened in silence. No sound, no light, only a shape, tall, sharp, and not alive. It fell from the Ilari ship like a silent spear, cutting through the air, aimed directly at one thing. Lyra. Down on the streets, Jack and Lyra were hiding in a broken train yard. Abandoned train cars stood like rusted giants, silent and cold. A light rain fell, and steam rose from cracked pipes in the ground. Lyra sat on the floor of an old carriage, staring at the scars on her hands, blue lines glowing beneath her skin like broken circuits. I can't feel my own limits anymore, she whispered. Every second, the power grows. But so does the noise inside me. Jack sat beside her watching. He didn't know what to say. He could see it. She was changing, becoming something stronger, but also something less human. Suddenly, a thud hit the top of the train car. Metal groaned. Then silence. Jack stood up. Did you hear that? Lyra stood slowly. Her eyes narrowed. She didn't say anything. Then, the roof exploded downward. A black figure dropped in front of them. It didn't speak. It didn't blink. It didn't breathe. It was the hunter. The creature was taller than any human. 8 feet of smooth black armor with long limbs and no face. Only a red circle glowed in the center of its head. Lyra stepped forward. They sent it. Jack pulled her back. What is that thing? She didn't answer, because answering meant wasting time. The hunter moved. 1 second it stood still. The next it was already swinging. Lyra ducked just in time. The creature's arm smashed through a steel wall like paper. Sparks flew. Metal screamed. Jack dove behind a control panel. Lyra jumped back and shot a blue energy pulse. It hit the hunter's chest. It didn't move. Not even a step. It's immune to direct hits, she muttered. The hunter raised its arm. A weapon formed from its wrist. It fired. The train car exploded. Flames. Metal. Smoke. Jack coughed hard, his ears ringing. Lyra? She wasn't. There. She was above. Floating. Surrounded by a bright aura. Hair flowing like fire. Her voice louder and stronger now. I told you, she said to the hunter. I'm not the same anymore. She flew straight at the creature. The air shook. Their collision cracked the ground. The hunter slammed her into a wall, but she flipped, dodged, punched, with enough force to bend steel. Jack watched, stunned. It wasn't just a fight, it was like watching thunder wearing a face, but Lyra was losing control. Her blows became wilder. Her eyes too bright. Her voice too loud. The hunter grabbed her by the throat. And in that moment, Jack saw something no one else could. She was scared. "Lyra," he shouted, "stop fighting like them. You're not a weapon." She heard him, her eyes flickered, and in that moment of stillness, she let go of her power. Instead of fighting, she reached into the hunter's mind, closed her eyes, felt its cold thoughts, empty programming. No hate, no fear, just one order: destroy the unstable. She whispered something. In Ilari, a word not used in centuries: release. And for a second, the red light in the hunter's head flickered. The creature froze. And then, it shut down, falling to the ground with a crash. Silence. Only the rain now. Lyra dropped to her knees, shaking. Jack rushed to her. "You didn't beat it by power," he said softly. "You beat it by choice." She looked at him. Tears in her eyes, not from fear, but something deeper. "I could have killed it," she said. "But then, I wouldn't be me anymore." She had passed the test, but more would come, because in the sky above, a signal was sent, and the Ilari Council had just declared, "Subject Lyra is no longer one of us. Termination is authorized." A quiet wind passed through the broken glass windows of the hideout. It wasn't much, just an old greenhouse on the edge of the city. Dusty, overgrown, forgotten. But for now, it was their only shelter. Lyra sat alone on the floor, knees pulled to her chest. Sunlight poured through the cracked roof, landing on her pale face. She wasn't glowing anymore. She wasn't floating. She was just still. Jack stood at the far end of the room, pacing. He checked the old laptop again. Ilari Council issued a public statement, he said. "They've declared you a lost citizen. They've activated something called Black Recall." Lyra didn't look up. Jack continued. "It means they don't want to capture you anymore. They want to erase you." Silence. Then finally she spoke. "I dreamed last night," she whispered. "I was on Alarian again. Everything was clean, bright, quiet, and I was smiling, but I didn't know why." She paused. "Then I woke up and realized that wasn't a dream. That was how I used to live." Jack sat beside her. "And now?" She looked at her hands. "I feel real. I feel pain, fear, joy. But also guilt. I hurt people. I broke the rules. I crossed a line that can't be uncrossed." Jack pulled out a small chip, a message disc delivered by drone earlier that morning. Played the recording. A female voice spoke in Ilari, calm and cold. Subtitles flashed on the screen. "Lyra of House Velian. You are offered one final choice. Return to the Council. Accept full mind reset. All memories of Earth and your powers will be erased. You will live again as one of us, clean, safe, silent. You have 24 Earth hours." The message ended. Jack turned to her. "That's not a choice. That's a threat." With a smile, Lyra stared at the device, her voice barely a whisper. "But it's also peace." Jack shook his head. "It's obedience. They don't want you to feel alive. They want you quiet." She stood up slowly, walking through the rows of dead plants. "I was designed to obey. From birth, they shaped my mind. I never asked questions. Never dreamed, but now Earth has changed me." Jack stepped toward her. "No, you changed yourself. One mistake, one drink, and you broke centuries of control." She turned toward him. Tears in her glowing eyes. "If I stay like this, I will always be hunted. I will never belong, not to them, not even to humans. I am something in between." Jack didn't hesitate. "Then be that. Be the first of your kind." Suddenly, the air hummed. Lyra froze. "It's her," she said. "Who?" "My mother." From outside, a ripple passed through the sky, almost invisible. Then a tall Ilari woman appeared in the doorway, silver robes. Hair like white silk, eyes just like Lyra's, but colder. Her voice was soft. "Daughter, you've caused much pain." Lyra stood silent. The woman walked slowly inside. "You were our brightest child. Why did you let it all fall apart?" "I didn't fall," Lyra said quietly. "I finally stood." The mother sighed. "This is your last moment. Choose silence, and you will be embraced again. Choose chaos, and you will fade." Jack stepped forward. "You can't force her." The woman didn't even look at him. "She is my blood. She belongs to Ilarion." Lyra took a breath, long, deep, then said something no one expected. "Then I choose to forget you." Her body began to glow again, not wild like before, but focused. Her heartbeat echoed through the glass panels. She lifted the message disc and crushed it in her hand. Blue light burst out. The signal was broken. The mother's face hardened. "So be it," she said. "You are no longer Ilari." She turned, stepped back into the ripple of air, and vanished. Silence filled the greenhouse again. Then Jack smiled. "That was badass." Lyra looked at the crushed disc in her hand. "I didn't choose war," she said softly. "I chose to live with all of it. The joy, the danger, the noise." Jack nodded. "You chose freedom." She looked at him. "I chose humanity, but far away, deep underground." A different council member stood in a control room, watching her through satellites, smiling coldly. "She thinks she's free," the alien whispered. "But soon, Earth will face the truth of what she really is." It was almost morning. The city was quiet, that rare kind of silence that only comes before the sun wakes the world. Streets were empty. Rooftops slept under fading stars. The wind had no message tonight, except for one. She stayed. Lyra stood alone at the edge of the riverbank, wearing a long earth coat, her glowing skin hidden under the hood. Her silver eyes looked at the dark water. Her bracelet, once filled with Ilari signals and control codes, was now black and silent. She had destroyed the link. She had chosen Earth, but Earth hadn't chosen her. Yet, behind her, Jack arrived, carrying 2 coffees. He offered one. "Thought you might need this." She looked at the cup like it was a puzzle. "Still bitter." He smiled. "That's kind of the point." She took a sip, made a face, then laughed. A small, real laugh. The kind that doesn't come from programming or rules, but from feeling. Jack sat beside her. "They'll keep looking for you, won't they?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, but not like before. Now they fear what I represent. Not just a broken rule, a broken pattern." She pointed to the rising sun. "Light doesn't ask permission to rise. It just does." A silence passed between them, a peaceful one. Jack finally asked, "Do you regret it?" She thought for a long moment. "I regret that I never knew what it meant to feel, until I almost lost it." Then she looked at him. "But now I have it, and I will protect it, even if it breaks me." Suddenly, a small drone buzzed overhead. It wasn't a ELRE. It was human, a news drone. A voice inside said, "Breaking news. Strange energy signatures detected during the night. Officials deny alien activity, but citizens report blue lights and explosions." Lyra looked away. Jack smirked. "They'll never understand what really happened." "No," she said, "but maybe someday someone will." Later that day, she changed her name in the human database. No more Lyra of House Velian, just Lyra. Veil, age, unknown, origin, visitor, status, free citizen. 1 week later, she was working at a small music cafe, learning guitar from a street performer. She still had trouble with Earth humor and couldn't figure out why people liked pickles, but she was learning, she was living. She was becoming human. And deep in the stars, on a ship orbiting a distant moon, a new Ilari council watched her Earth logs, a younger generation of thinkers. Rebels even. She survived, one of them whispered. She adapted, another said. A third simply smiled. She chose. Lyra's story would be remembered not as a threat, but as the first spark, the one who broke the silence and showed a race of emotionless beings that to feel is not weakness. It is power. Rain again. Lyra walks through the city streets, no longer hiding her face. She smiles at a child. She closes her eyes and lifts her hand into the rain. And for the first time in her life, she doesn't glow. She blends in, not because she lost who she was, but because she finally became who she chose to be.